Hey, all right. Um, let's begin. So what do I really want to do this week? I just want to. Well, let's just go ahead with it. I just want to talk about the weekly, the whole thing we did this week, right? This week, we closed three trades this week, and we have three trades running, and then we have two trades pending. So what are the premises here? So for the card JPY, we sold the card JPY for a very short period of time, 4 hours, and we were simply aiming for a 4 hour supply demand zone, aiming for a 4 hour demand zone. And what we simply did was we went out for the weekly. On the weekly, we couldn't find like clear zones. So on the daily, I found this zone right here. This is a clear supply zone. And then I was looking for a daily demand zone, but I couldn't find any. Because if you look down here, just let me put all of this in place. This is supposed to be a demand zone, but you can see price has already mitigated. And this is not a demand zone. I know a lot of people would think this is a demand zone, but from all the knowledge I have, all the things I've learned recently, it's not a demand zone simply because price, if you look into these three candles here, this last candle right here, this candle right here already entered into the zone. If it had stopped ahead and this whole, if it had stopped somewhere like here and this whole thing remained the way it was, then this would be a very high, to be a very, very good zone. Not really high because the inefficiency is not strong. So unlike that, this one has a better situation, right? It has a better strength compared to the first one. So this one had a better strength. You can see the inefficiency here. The inefficiency is very high here. This inefficiency is really high. But that was until price, you know, went into the inefficiency and utilized it. But even at that, price hasn't entered the zone. So it is still good. Real good in my opinion. And then so looking at all of that, we do not have like a daily demand zone. But on the weekly, we have this zone here with a quite okay zone. And then there's this last one right here. So people, this last one right here, it is it is it is tricky. This one is very, very tricky because I had to really zoom in. I had to really zoom in. And when I zoomed in, I noticed price had come into it like pretty very small. Price had gone into it. But price hasn't like turned into it much. It's very similar with the other one we found here. Very similar with what we found down here. So this is a zone that I'm looking at as not so credible, but it's there. But that's on the weekly. So on the 4 hours, what was the tactics? What was the technique we utilized? So on the 4 hours, we're looking at credible highs and lows. And if I should just do that drawing again, I'll start from this low here just to speed it up. We have these credible sets of highs and lows. So you can see how clear you can see like this price action is. Then there's this, then there's this. So why am I looking at this smaller part here? I will explain it. And there's this. I would have taken it all the way to this point though, but I'll take this, this, and this. That was an error. So let's just put it here. So why did I really look at this? It's simple. I noticed on the daily, right? We already drew a daily supply zone. Now, when price comes into that place, every tick of the candle needs to be looked at like very critically. And if you noticed right here, this tick is so strong. Like it's it's so small. It means they pushed price, right? They pushed price high from here. They pushed it up. And then it met a sudden barrier. And guess what? boom. This rejection is so clear. Matter of fact, you can simply draw a rejection here already. Why? Because if you go down to the 15 minutes, oh, network do not fail me now. So if you go down to the 15 minutes to look at this chart, I didn't even look at it in 15 minutes. Go down to the 15 minutes and look at this chart. You can see that all the up push started from here and here. All this strong push. Matter of fact, this place has on the 15 minutes, right? On 15 minutes time frame, if you zoom in, this place has the most efficient. You see the strongest. You see this inefficiency right here, this imbalance or fair value gap, whichever one you call it, is so strong compared to every other candles you see here. It is so strong. There was this strong push, and then that push was completely cancelled. Cancelled by what? Another very obvious. You can see the very obvious pushes down here. You see the very obvious ones here. This one, and this one. So those obvious, they are so obvious that price pushed away. You can see 15 minutes trying to struggle here. There was a struggle here, trying to struggle to continue this momentum, but it couldn't keep up its momentum and it was disrespected. It was completely disrespected. It was totally disrespected to the point that the price even went all the way down to the beginning and broke it. Then we now found the tiny bits of retracements and consolidation around here. But how did I even do this? I just simply said, since price has fought through this entire struggle, this was supposed to be a clear break, and price was supposed to come here. This was supposed to be a zone. In this whole place, like this was the only zone available. The moment price broke below the zone, I think I've drawn so many things in this chart, so let's just clean it up. So the moment price broke below this clear zone, this is a clear zone, this is supposed to be a strong zone. So the moment price broke below the zone, what happened? What did I do? I instantly took a sell. And why did I take that sell? It is simple. I saw price retrace upwards here, and then I saw price also break again through this level. The moment I saw this, I said, nah, there's no need. Let's just take that. Let's just take that. I took the trade and it went for profit. It even did it twice. Why? Now, after that zone was taken, after this zone was taken, this was supposed to be a demand zone on the 4 hours. So after this 4 hour zone was taken, we immediately saw something. Price created a new demand zone right here. Price created a demand zone right at that spot. I had already taken profit here, as you saw right now. I had already taken profit here. I had already taken profit here. If I was still looking at the chart, this was yesterday. This was some days ago. I think that was Tuesday. It was Tuesday's candle. If I was still looking at this chart, because I didn't come back to Canada JPY after I had traded it, I was still looking at this chart. I would have taken another stance right here, stop loss above, take trades to this point, and you can see how legitimately that went also. Boom, give you the second take immediately. So in this place, what do we see? What do we see? We simply see price give us a good trade. Not really free. It's not free. No trade is free. It gave us a good trade in terms of supply and demand. And now it has printed a bearish action. But currently, I feel this is going to go bullish. But today is not for analysis. Today is just to look back at what we did, right? What we did. Now, Euro Australian dollar caught me twice. Twice. This is painful. Twice. And let's see the twice. Let's see the 2 times it did that. So they were 1 hour trades. Actually, they were scalp trades. I decided to just scalp the market. I think I was writing it down in my notion before I stopped because I had work to do. Yeah, so they were 15 minutes trade. 24th, 7:21 p.m. So let's see. think, yeah. They were both scalp trade. I was trying to test something in the 15 minutes. Secondly, I do not like my candles all like that, just like them, one color all around. So you can see this trade actually worked out if my stop loss was in the right place. But if my stop loss was in the right place, it's not a profitable trade for me. Entry from where I entered. But so what do we see? The first trade didn't work out at all. First trade went directly against me. What was I doing here? I didn't even understand structure at this time. I was simply trading. I was learning it. I think I had said it then. I was trying to understand what I was looking at. So this to me is not structure now, but back then I actually marked it, so it's not structure to me anymore. So price did this. In this case, I'm not supposed to be looking for. I'm supposed to be looking for a shorting trade, a short trade, but not here. If I was supposed to be looking for a trade, I would have, with what I know now, though I didn't know it then. I would have looked out for this zone instead. This is where I would have looked out for markets to come back to, for me to go into trade right here, because the inefficiencies, this inefficiency here, this one right here, you can see right here, it has not been utilized. If you look at it all the way to when I took my trade, all the way to the point where I took my trade, it has not been utilized by anything at all. No, no candles in there. But I didn't fully understand what I was doing, so I just took a short trade. Took a short trade for two reasons. Yeah, I remember the second reason was I saw price make this uh, supply zone. So because I didn't understand that you shouldn't trade. Let me show you what I mean. So if I draw the Fibonacci from the highest to the lowest, following the trend, right? This is a downtrend. I'm not supposed to take this trade at all because it is below the 50%. This is not a zone to want to short from. It's anything above here that I should be shorting, which is this is the one thing. So I took this trade and well, I got beaten real hard. I got really, really beaten. Second trade I took, though that had like way more logic to it. You can see that it was a trade that was supposed to, possibly work, but it didn't work. And it is simple why it didn't work. So here I had a supply zone. Oh, I don't even know why it didn't work. So it didn't work actually. Yeah, I had a supply zone and I was trading from supply zone to the nearest 1 hour demand zone. This is the nearest 1 hour demand zone right here. You see the nearest 1 hour demand zone. So let me just take away all of the past ones. Oh, I'm not going to take away this one. So let's just keep this one here. So I was aiming for this 1 hour supply zone, trading from this demand zone, and I didn't do a confirmation because if I had done a confirmation, I wouldn't do this. Let me show you why I said I didn't do a confirmation. So I looked in here. I didn't wait for market structure on the 15 minutes to change, and that's the reason why I lost the trade. So we're looking here for you to understand that structure. I'm going to start from the clear ones. So it's from here to here, and price broke below here at this point. It tested, and I didn't wait. I would have waited for this to be broken. If I had waited for this to be broken, then there's no need to trade this market. I was quite impatient, and hence, what did price do? Price went down and finally came to break above here. So following my own way of trading, I was never supposed to take this trade at all. So that's the lessons learned. Uh, Instead of using this, I think I went to the 5 minutes. I went into the 5 minutes and I took, funny thing is, I even still made a mistake on the 5 minutes. Why? So I took, see this high to this low to this high. I was taking this tiny move. Let me just keep this one here, like this. So I was taking this tiny 5 minutes move here as break of structure. So how does this lead to a 1 hour chain break of structure? It could. It's not as if it doesn't. Sometimes it happens, but it's not worth taking it at all. I was taking this as break of structure, and well, I got broken too. It broke my account, though it's small, about 2,000 naira, 2,000 naira loss. Yeah, about 2,800 naira loss. But all in all, this week we are still in profit with 2,493 naira. Take note, it's a demo account. Say it out loud. This is a demo account. Why is it a demo account? I am learning. I'm still in my learning phase, and I am proud to say it. I'm not scared. I'm not ashamed. I am in my learning phase. I'm taking it one trade at a time. I need lots and lots of data, lots and lots of trades to finally get it. So looking here, I'm going to sell this market next week, but I don't want to talk about it. This market that's supposed to be sold right now, based on what I understand. But also based on what I understand, if I want to sell this market, I need to look beyond that. So now I shouldn't sell this market. I shouldn't sell this market. You can see now that this market is in an uptrend. So you shouldn't be shorting this market at all. I shouldn't be shorting this market at all. So folks, this is it for the three trades we took last week. Oh, yeah, we still have some trades that we took. The New Zealand Japanese yen. Yeah, this trade is the trade that has kept me crazy. It has kept me crazy because okay, so this trade, what happened is this. It's clearly in an uptrend. See, I had like way many multiple time frames strategy overview all the way from the monthly. I've been tracking this guy all the way from monthly, weekly to daily. I've been following it religiously, like it's some sort of a financial breakthrough, but it's not. But what am I trying to say? So I think I took this trade on the 4 hours. Yeah, this is the 4 hours. I took this trade on the 4 hour structure. And on the 4 hour structure, looking here, this is below the 4 hours anyway. But looking here, we have this situation. Price came down. I would have drawn all of this, but is there any need? There's no need. So price came down. Price hasn't broken above this high. Take note, it is just taking out the liquidity. It hasn't broken above this high. It's not as if there are liquidities. Liquidity is everywhere, but they are just taking out some loss, stop loss, and some stop orders and entry orders here. They are taking some of them. They are currently in. Now, on the lower time frame, right? I saw this daily structure right here, this supply demand zone with a very, this is not a strong inefficiency. But guess what? Price has baked into it the first time, baked into it again and again and again. So this is actually a terrible trade, to be honest. This is a terrible, very, very terrible trade. I shouldn't be taking this. But if I should look below this point, so let's go below this point. We're going to start from here, hard left. Look here, no, no trades. Straight here, no trades. Straight here, no trade, no trade, no zone, no zone. So up onto this point, we do not have a zone. We're gonna go no zone, no zone, no zone, no zone, no zone in this whole section. As big as that is on the daily time frame. Take notes. This is on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we do not have a zone. So all of this from here, we're going to go hard left right here. And we're not seeing any new zones. So there is one zone here. Let's check if it is a valid zone. It's right here. Oop, it's been utilized by this guy. So no zone, no zone, no zone, no zone, no zone, no zone. Wow. On the daily, we can't find zones. On the daily, like all the way back till February 2022, we can't find zones. Now that is crazy. That is crazy. Now let's go into the 4 hours. The 4 hours, do we have zones? And this is why I took this trade. This is why I took this trade. So on the 4 hours, I have no zone, no zone, no zone. So this is where I started from, right? Let's do a bar replay because man, this is a lot of data. Let's do a bar replay. Let's see why I took this trade. So bar replay. Price was here. No zone, no zone, no zone, no zone. This is not a zone. No zone. Over here, no zone, no zone. I think you are seeing zones actually, but what you don't know is the zones has been used. So you can see utilized. Almost every zone you find here has been utilized. Let's go down again. This is another one. Utilized. See, utilized here, utilized here. All the way from here, no zone, no zone, no zone whatsoever is available. All to this daily low. We do not have zones at all. And the last hope I kind of have is the 1 hour. Right? That's the last hope I kind of have. Wow, I think business has improved. That's a miracle. Uh, no zones. Yeah, there was a zone here, but it has been utilized. See its price utilized it here. Hard left, no zone, no zone. There was a zone here too, but it has also been utilized. But there's no zone here in the first place. It was already utilized from the onset. There is no zone. Okay, this is a zone that has been utilized. See it? This has been utilized here and here. So here and here. Utilize the zone. No zone, no zone, no zone. So this trade is literally right now it has been debunked. This trade is absolute nonsense. Like it is useless. It's a trade that I am most likely going to lose. But why am I still taking this trade? It's pretty simple though. I'm taking this trade because of faith. Let me show you why it is because of faith. It was bullish. Oh, I think it has ended. You know, today is not 30 yet. So let's see. Local studio, local studio. Okay, it's coming up. So while it's coming up, let's see exactly why we call it useful or useless. Yep, so 23rd. But let's see if New Zealand Japanese yen is still bullish. Oh, it's still bullish. It still has a 0.6. You can see right here. So it's right here. It's still at 6 scores. And I took that trade simply because of that. I swear. I didn't do like serious in-depth analysis. I just said, let's have faith. Let's cross our fingers and see how it goes. That was what I said to myself way back as of this day. So this was 25th. When did I enter that trade? That trade was entered on 24th. Yeah. So on 24th, it was 2. And I was looking at it and I said, this thing's going to go up. On 25th, it was 7. So ultimately, I entered this trade out of faith, not out of like proper analysis, out of faith. And second reason I entered this trade is actually this. Second reason I entered this trade. So I looked at this strong push up, right? This extreme push down and push up. And I said to myself, if price has broken this daily high, it has broken another daily high. Then I said this to myself, this is not financial advice. I felt price was going to come down and break again before it retests. But now that I'm analyzing it with you guys and I'm seeing that there are no zones around here, this is literally free zone for price fall. Like this whole place here has very, very strong free zone. So if that thing to change bearish, it could do this in an instance. Like boom. It could take all of this in an instance. And now that I'm looking at this from the perspective of what the market is saying, oh my god, I've seen strong bearish action. You can see monthly is hanging, weekly is hanging, and it looks like it is printing a bearish chart. The first push down. So let's see on the weekly. Let's see if we actually have a bearish chart weekly. Ooh, it not closed below the weekly. We haven't. Let me put up the zigzag indicator to do that for us. I think this is too much. So let's hide. Oh, that was a mistake. Let's hide every single drawing except indicator. All right, now let's go for the weekly. I'm gonna increase this a little bit. Yep. So in the smaller structure, this should be like this should be like good. This is still good for weekly. So on the weekly structure, I think we've already switched into bearish move. We've already switched into bearish move right here at this point. At that point right here, we've already switched into a bearish move. And it's scary that I had this trade in this manner. But let's just see how it goes. Right? Let's see how it goes. Keeping faith in luck. The next thing is the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. This trade, this trade has some juju in it. I don't want to lie to you. This trade literally has some foolishness in it. So, what is the premise behind this trade? What is the premises behind this trade? Why did I dive into this market? Well, first and foremost, I'm looking at a situation right here. You can see clear highs and clear lows. You can see clear high, clear lows, but we can see overall structure. Price has broken below this low. Price comes back. What the hell is this? So we see price clear low, high. Price has broken below so many lows. There are a lot of lows here, but price has broken below. Price came up here, and we're expecting a pushback if this is a bearish market. And obviously, this is a bearish market. So all of these are just, this was just a correction phase. This is a push. It's doing a little bit of correction again, and another push. So on the 4 hours, what did I see? I actually saw this supply zone, and then I saw this other supply zone. So the usual, right? Checking distance away from last sync. This is the distance from last sync. We're currently still in a, we're currently at equilibrium, but at the time I took this trade, we were more closer to the premium area. Zooming into the 1 hour, this is why I took this trade, right? This is exactly why I took this trade. On the 1 hour, I saw this. I'm looking at the smaller time frame within the 1 hour. This is already a 4-hour supply zone. Don't forget that. This is already a 4-hour supply zone. And if you should draw a 4-hour demand zone, right? The 4-hour demand zone, there is none here, meaning there's a good free fall here. Okay, there's one here actually. There is one. So this is a 4-hour demand zone. So this is a 4-hour demand zone. So we're trading zone to zone. That's what I'm actually trading, from supply to demand. And on the 1 hour, this is why I took this trade. So on the 1 hour, if you understand the smaller market structure by just reading candles, this is the highest high here. This could be on the 15 minutes or 1 hour. It could be on the 15 minutes, 5 minutes. But this is the lowest low here. Now, in this place, there is a very tiny structure here that led to this high, came down to this low, went up to this high, came down to this low, then created this high. Now, price has closed with this candle below this place. This is exactly why I took this trade. I have seen this clear break here. Now, if I should go down to the 15 minutes to look at this, you understand what I'm saying. Do you see what I'm saying now? Upon seeing this clear break here, I decided, all right, I think it's time for us to take a trade, right? At what time did I take this trade? 4:34 yesterday. So 4:34, let's look for 4:34 around this line. So it's 4:34, and you can see it. As soon as I saw that break below, I didn't wait for price to retrace to any zone around here. This is the zone that I actually expect price to retrace to. I won't lie. I was expecting price to retrace to this zone during the day. During the day trade yesterday, I was expecting price to do what it does, come here. I expected it to come here, but this has been taken already. I said, all right, fine. Is there any other thing here? There's nothing here. So I said, if price was going to do anything at all, it's around here too. But if price doesn't do anything, then well, I'm sitting in profit. I expected price to do whatever it does, return to this zone, and then push off. But it didn't. It didn't simply because we don't have any zones here or here. The only zone we have is this one right here. And price hasn't mitigated it, but price has used the inefficiency. And you can see it right here. Price has utilized the inefficiency here with all of this, but it hasn't used the zone itself. So obviously that zone is really looking like it's going to hold to an extent. It might hold, it might not hold. It might be the reason to push price back up to this down. So I'm placing my trade take profit at the real end, right? At the tail end. Or I just want to scalp this market. Hence, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be watching this market. Either it's going to stop me out with 300 naira in profit, 350 naira in profit, or it's going to start continuing its downtrend when the market opens to get to this zone. And then I will take this profit here at 2000 naira plus, or here at just roughly 1000 plus. But I can't modify this trade because it's weekend, so let's just watch how it goes. It's still running. So right now I'm on a zero loss trade. As far as I'm concerned, this trade is it's literally sitting on zero loss already. There's no loss for me on this trade anymore. And last but not least is the US dollar against Canadian dollar. Now, this is a lot. We have price creating good higher lows, higher highs. So why am I in this trade? Why am I shorting this trade? I'm shorting this trade for one reason, one clear reason. I'm going to hide everything. If you take a good look at this candle right now, this week here, it is so strong, so clear, and so obvious that price is looking for lower levels. And then couple that with this US dollar card. The hedge finder is calling it bearish. Let's head to the top setup. The hedge finder calls this bearish. The US dollar card, you can see it's at -5 bearish. Calls it bearish. So I'm taking a trade based on that situation, just simply based on that situation. I'm taking a trade, but I didn't just take a trade because I saw this candle. So let's see the real analysis behind it. It's a short-term trade, very short-term trade. It's a 1 hour view. And what was I looking at? So on the 4 hours first and foremost, I can't find the zone here. I can't find the zone. I can't find the zone here. First and foremost, I can't find anything around here. I can't find anything around here either. But I'm seeing this heavy rejection here. Obviously, I can find a zone. As you can see, I can find the zone here. Based on my daily expectation, right? Based on this 4 hours you're seeing right here. And the daily. Let's go to the daily. So on the daily, this is the small time frame structure from the daily. You see it right here. Price broke above this high on the daily and closed, went up and rejected a little bit. So in all this rejection, I expect price to keep itself without coming to this level, one, and getting to this level. Forget about me putting this here. This is just a thought. It's supposed to be here though, but I just placed it here for fancy. So I expect price to push down to this zone. And it's pretty simple why I expect that. If price push down to this zone, it will meet this daily. You can see right here, this is a daily demand zone. Very good daily demand zone. Just screaming right here. These are two very strong daily demand zones. So on the 4 hours, what was the situation? On 4 hours, I want to keep this away. On the 4 hour, we had this clear zone. We don't have a zone above here. On the 4 hours, we don't have a zone above here, but we have a zone below here. So seeing price push away, I'm thinking price is supposed to come here. For price to come here to be setting, not really setting, but like strategy setting, right? I needed to look for zones on the lower time frame here, and I found so many. This has been utilized. This has been utilized, not completely, but this has been utilized. But this is here utilized. Price broke through it. So what am I looking for? I am simply fingers crossed, waiting for price to go here, and then finally here. When price does break either of this, then this for me is now more accurate. But if price comes here and I start to see some 5 minutes necessary dancing and all that, I'm going to close my trade there. That should be around 1,000 some profit. Let's see. Closing it here is roughly 6,000 naira profit. So whichever one it does, let's just see. So that's the analysis of all the trades we took last week. Like, and I just want us to understand something here, right? Understand something here. Trading is not like it's not easy doing all this analysis. You see how long we just spent on this video. It was not easy, but it is cool and it is nice. And I think we can just leave it at that and say thank you. For those of you who have watched this live to understand like the live way of doing it, the way I do it live. Thank you for watching. I would like to see you guys on another video and another live also. It's been fun having you guys and peace.